Okay, today, um, what I want to display, this is my generator. Um, this is a 12-volt motor. This is my generator. This is the load, um, 50 watts, 50-watt load. This is my 12-volt battery, 7 amp. Uh, this is my capacitor, 20 UF capacitor. This one is a 24 UF capacitor. So I'm going to put both of them. Um, this here is a armature, a 12-volt armature. So the reason why I call this a 12-volt armature is that you can see I've already made a display explain about it between 12 volt and 24 volt. So what is inside this generator is a 24-volt generator. Is a series winding, continuous series winding. So this armature here is a 12 volt. So I have explained it in my previous videos. I just want to break it down in practice. This 12-volt armature, uh, it can benefit of it is that it can generate current in low rotation. It depends on the ohms resistance, like the turns. It also depends on turns, but usually it generates voltage on rate rotation or with small value of capacitor. But like I say, it depends on uh, ohms resistance, the turns. So, but one of the difference is that this armature here has north and south, one north, one south, and both of them work independently. It work independently. Later, we explain about the 24 volt, which is inside this generator. Is inside couple inside. So this anyway, we will put it in practice and share. But let me explain it briefly. This armature here, you see here, even when uh, one of these, assuming this place is south and this place is north, if this north south here develops some faulty, it will not affect the north here over here. Or if this north here develops some faulty, it will not affect the south here because both of them has independent winding, independent diode. So which means that if this north is faulty, this generator can generate a current with one pole, but this 24 volt cannot do that. Immediately the diode short circuit or cut, it will not generate any voltage. But this armature can generate. So we will put it in practice and check it and see the difference between uh, the two armature, the two Rotor, how they behave and how they work. Okay. So now I'm just want to set my camera. Okay. So now this is the 12-volt Rotor, or I can call it armature. You can see it has a independent winding. So I just want to demonstrate how it works. So okay, now this is my motor. The kind of coupling I use is that when you turn anti-clockwise, it's clock by itself, but when you turn clockwise, it rotates with the generator. Okay, so now I'm gonna on this meter. This is my meter. Let me shift it more. So this is my voltmeter. So I'm going to connect it to measure the voltage it gave me. Okay, I've already connected it. Okay, now let me connect the terminal of the motor. You see the voltage without connecting capacitor. Okay, now I'm gonna connect uh 20 UF microfarad capacitor. I've already connected. So now you see. Okay, I really oh I made a mistake. I just connect the capacitor in the same terminal. So that's why there is no display of anybody. Let me connect it in the right connection. So I've already do it in the right connection. Okay. So let me so now my give me 205 volts. Okay. So let me connect 24 UF capacitor. Okay. 260 volts. Okay. Now the armature give me uh current. There is a output current from the armature. So now I'm going to dismantle. The purpose of displaying this video is to that when you when this armature when you remove one terminal of this armature, this is 24 volt because it is a continuous series. There won't be any output from this generator. But this rotor, this armature here, when you remove one of the either you remove north or you remove south, one can independently work because it is a 12 volt, so it has a separate uh, field excitation. So that is the purpose of displaying to set the difference. So which means that even when your generator gets issue, that you can be able to trace whether the armature is uh, 12 volts or 24 volts. So now I'm going to dismantle the generator from the from the motor. You know, so it is engage and disengage. Okay, so now let me. Okay, so now let me bring it close. So this is the coupling aspect. When the motor rotates clockwise, it's lock up. So okay, it has now loose. Okay, so now let me use from here. Okay, just locking it up. Yeah. So now this is the generator. So now I'm going to lose it out, lose the rotor. So the generator has um, difference to set the difference between 12 volts and 24 volts. Just a little. So it has pulled out. So let me apply it just gently. So now this is the rotor here. You can see this is the rotor here. So now this rotor now, or this armature, you can see it is series. The winding here from here connect connect here, and from this winding, let's say this is south and this is north. So both the south and north is connected with the diode, with rectified diode. So let me bring it out with a diode. So it is inside. You can see it here, the diode. So now let me. What I want to do now is that I want to disconnect one of the terminal of the diodes. I want to disconnect it to know if this armature can give a current output now. So I'm just can see the diode. Can see the diode. So I'm just want to dismantle. Just want to cut the wire. Okay, now I have successfully cut the wire. You can see I have cut the wire that joined together. I have got it. So now I will connect the armature back. I will connect the system back to know if it will give current again. Remember, only one wire I separated. So I'm going to connect the armature back to know if it will give current back again. Okay, so let me do the coupling again. So I've already connected. Let me lock it. Okay. So when you tighten it, make sure that when you rotate, you can see it is rotating freely. So it's rotating freely. Now I'm going to couple it back to the system, to the frame. So I want to couple it back. Okay. So, so it's when I'm rotating it, it is locking by itself. Okay. So now it is rotating with the motor. Rotating with the motor. Okay. So now I want to let me connect my meter, my multimeter, to read the voltage if there will be any output from it. So I already connect it. Let me put 24 UF. So I don't want to put 20 UF. So let me put this 24 UF. Okay. So now let's know if the diode gets damaged or remove one of the wire from both. It was only one wire. So let's know if there will be any induced current and in the meter. Okay. So this is the motor. Now let me connect. You can see there is no any output. This output we are seeing here is because of the magnet, the neodymium magnet I place on the stator. I mean on the Rotor. So that is giving this induced voltage. You can see 16 volts. Let me remove this capacitor here to show you that it is only the magnet that's giving this voltage. I already removed. Okay, let me bring it out totally. Okay, you can see the terminal is empty. So now let me connect again. So you can see it will even give more voltage because this capacitor is consuming little bit from it. So you can see that the generator is rotating freely. You can see. But when you connect capacitor, it will induce some voltage. To give 19 volt when I remove the capacitor. But now, due to the presence of the capacitor, it induce, yeah, like it consume some voltage, some amount of voltage from it, about 2 or 3 volt, because it needs to be charged before it will send power to back power to the Rotor. Okay, now so I'm going to dismantle this generator here and couple it with this 12 volt armature. When I couple with this 12 volt armature, I'm going to test it to see whether it give out output current. And then after that, I'm going to remove one of the terminal of this uh, armature, whether from this side or from this side, whether from this side or this side. So if you check here, this is the magnet they place on it. I think it is a needle magnet. Yeah, it is a needle magnet. You can see it is a needle magnet. You can see it hold this hold it. So that is a needle magnet. So I'm going to disconnect this motor. So I'm going to um, let me, okay, I think clockwise. Okay, so now, okay, so you can see the shaft of the motor is still stationary while the shaft of the armature rotates. So because it has now been disengaged, it has been disengaged. So let me off my meter and remove it from pull it out. So let me bring it out. Yeah, so I've already bring it out. So let me pull it out. Okay, let me put the Rotor out. This is to let you know that there is a big difference between 12 volts and 24 volts Rotor, or some people call it armature. There is a very big difference between both of them. Okay, you can see the wire is out. If I connect this wire, this output, I connect it together now. If I pull this Rotor now, it will give me current, like in my previous testing. So I just disconnect it. So if you use my meter to read it, it will just, because I won't connect this. So just if I want this armature now to walk back to normal now, I will just connect it here. And that's why when this diode got short circuit, there is no any output. Despite that, even this stator coil is okay, it will not give any current. So the 19 to 20 volt you see is generated by this diode here. I mean this sorry, this uh, uh, neodymium magnet you are seeing here. So it is generated by this neodymium magnet. This 19 volt the generator give is directed by this needle magnet. Okay, so this is the 12 volt. This rotor here is a 24 volt, so it is a series connection. But why this is a parallel connection? So you can see it is a 12 volt. So I'm going to connect it. After that, I'm going to disconnect one of the terminal. So I'm going to connect it in the generator. So I'm going to connect it and see how far. So let me couple it. Okay, so after you finish tightening, you have to make sure that you rotate the shaft to make sure that it is not cracking in any side of the armature is not cracking. So now I'm going to couple it back to the frame to the system. Okay, so I have to engage it again to the motor. So let me rotate it to make sure that it is rotating. Okay, okay. It has now been engaged with the motor. So I'm going to tight it here. Tie the bolt. Okay, so you can see the system is turning perfectly. It's turning perfectly. Okay, so now I'm going to connect this 12 volts. I mean, this 24 volt. First of all, I have to connect with 20 volt. I have to connect with a 24 volt capacitor to see the effect, to see the difference. Okay. So let me do the connection. So let me do the connection. So I have to connect to the output terminal of the generator. So I mean, okay, it's not covering it. So this is the generator here. Okay. So let me on it. Okay. So now, first of all, I will connect it with 20 volt UF to read the output voltage. Okay. So now, I see the battery. So I'm going to run it, connect it to the terminal. I see. Okay. Okay. It gives me 20. Okay. Now, you see, this 12 volt lotto. It take a time. It take a little bit time to get induced. can see. So let me start it again. Remember, I connect only 20 UF capacitor. So now let me just wash, just wash. Now let me connect. So do you see 20 UF give me 270. Let me check again. 269. But in this previous amateur, in this previous amateur, it give me 205 volts. 205 volts, if you can remember, 205 volts. Why with 20 UF? 20 UF. This Lotto, it is the same coil. I mean, the same stator, the same motor, the same battery I'm using to run it. Despite that, my first experiment is with this Lotto, which is 24 volts. So now, uh, with 12 volt, with 20 UF, this amateur with this same stator give me 205 volts. But I changed the amateur to 12 volts. So with 20 UF, it gives me 217. Let me do it again. Okay. 260, 272, 200, it come down to 260. Okay, now let me change the 20 UF and put it 24 UF capacitor. So let me check the difference. Okay, let me connect the battery again. Wow, 290, almost 300 voltage, almost 300 voltage. So okay, now with 20 UF, it gives me 270 to 260 volts, 260 volts. So with 24 volts, I mean 24, sorry, 24 UF microfarad capacitor, it give me 290 volt, closing to close to 300 voltage. Okay, now what I want to do now, I will pull the system off from the frame. Then I will disconnect the armature. I will bring the armature out. I will disconnect one of the pole terminal. So let's know if this armature will give any current output when when you remove one of the terminal, when you remove one of the winding, either not or south, since both of them has a difference. I mean, both of them has independent winding, so they are not connected together. So they has a different independent. They work independently. They work independently. So now let me off my meter. So I will just bring the system out and disconnect one of the terminal out. So let's know if it will give a current out. When you remove one of the wire, one of the pole, either north or south. So first of all, let me bring this out. First of all, let me disengage it. Okay, I've already disengaged it. Okay, so now this is the generator here now. So I've already bring it out. So now I'm going to dismantle it. I've already bring it out. Okay. So this is the lotto here, what some people call armature. You can see this is the lotto that give me um that give me um 290 volts when I connect to a 24 UF capacitor, and it give me 270 when I connect 20 UF capacitor. Why this one give me 205 volts when I connect 20 UF capacitor? So both of them are the same size, different tones, different configuration. This one is 12 volts. I mean, this one is 12 volts. This one is 24 volts. So now, what I want to do, I will disconnect one of the wire here. I will disconnect one of the wire here. Either I disconnect this out, or let's say that this one is south and this one is north. So either I disconnect one wire from the north, or I disconnect one wire from the south. So I'm just going to disconnect only one I'm going to disconnect. Okay, so let me choose this one. Let me choose this one. Let me choose this one. Okay, so I'm pulling the wire out. You can see. So I've already pulled the wire out. So which means I disconnect this side. I disconnect only this side. So which means if this system, if this armature is going to work like it's working independently, only this side is have to be generating the current. So let me shorten it to make sure that it is not touching this side. So I've already shortened it. So shorten it without the diode it doesn't, it will not be generating to. Or let me remove it totally. So let me remove it totally. You can see. So I've already removed it totally. I remove it totally. So now this side is empty. So this have to be neutral. It won't add any nothing. So only this side is connected. It's now complete circuit. So now remember I disconnect this side. So let me couple it. So let's know if it will give current out, whether low or high. Let's know if it will generate any current when you remove one of the pole, because it's work with one north, one south. So now I will disconnect either north or south. So let's know if it will give current. So the shaft is rotating freely. So now I'm going to couple it back. I'm going to couple it back to the system to know if it will give any current out. Okay, so you have to set it properly before it will engage. Okay, now it has been engaged. Okay, so now it has been engaged. So it has been engaged with the the motor. The shaft of the generator and the motor has been connected. So let me lock it well. Okay, so it has been connected properly. Okay, so let me. This is my meter. Let me connect it to know. Okay, so let me do the connection. Okay, so okay, okay now. I have two capacitor, so I have to first of all connect 20 volt. Let me know the how many voltage it give me with 20 UF capacitor, and after that I will know how much she gave me with a 24 volt UF capacitor. Remember, I have already disconnect one of the terminal of the Rotor, yeah, of the armature. So it's now working with only one terminal, only one north or one south. So first of all, let's check. Okay, 24. Okay, you see 200 and 203 volts. Despite that, I remove one terminal. So it takes a time. It takes a time to for this capacitor to store a charge before it can induce it back. So remember, this armature here is working with only one pole. Only one pole. Let me try it again. 220, 221 volts with one pole. Okay, now I connect it 24 volts. Sorry, I connect it with 24 UF microfarad capacitor. I have removed the 20 volts. I mean, this one I'm just mentioning 20 volt. I have disconnected. I previously connect 20 UF microfarad capacitor. So you can see 20 UF microfarad capacitor. So now I just put 24 UF microfarad capacitor. So let's test. This 20 UF give us two 220 221 volts. Okay, let's see what 24 UF can give us. 245. So you can see with one. Okay, let's connect load and see if it will give us a power load. Let me connect 20 UF. Okay. Okay. This is the load, 50 watts load. So let me know if it will power it. Uh-huh. Definitely it will power, but I just want to see. Okay, so let me connect it here, right here. So this 20 UF capacitor give us 229 21 volts. So I prefer that's why I disconnect this 24, because this 24 give us a 240 something. So to avoid burning over voltage, burning this light bulb here, this satellite bulb. And see, okay, I think the wire pull out. The wire pull out. Let me. Okay, I've already set it. So the wire pull out. Okay, now let me run the system again. Remember, I connected with a 20 UF capacitor because that's what gave me 221 volts. So let me. So okay, the meter is connected. You can see it here with a load. Okay, so now um you can see with 24 12 volts that when you remove one terminal, that this generator can give current with only one pole. It can give a current with only one pole. So which means that this generator or this rotor can generate current with only one pole, either north or south, either north or south. So I'm going to bring it out again just to verify. There's no any editing here. So just to verify that this generator is working with only one pole, only one north or south, because I don't know the one I disconnected. It will be north or south. So let me test it for the last time again. So I'm going to, okay. So now I'm going to disconnect it. I'm going to disconnect the the generator to verify that this generator is giving current with one pole, only one pole. Okay, let me disengage it. Okay, let me check, go close. Let me disconnect from here. Okay, so okay, definitely you can see it here. You can see it. So you can see that I disconnect it from here. So which means this only this side is giving us the current, is generating current. So which means that this lotto, this armature can work. It can work with um, one north or one south. So which means if anything happened to this side can continuous working. That's why there will be a reduction of the voltage. So, but this one, immediately there is an issue with the winding, either this side or this side, because it is a series connection. It will not give any current. I just cut only this side. There's no any output current again. But this one, but this rotor, because it is a 12 volt, it is a parallel connection, which means that even when one pole develops some issue, this side can carry on. If this one develops some issue, this one can carry on. It will stop to generate any current. It will stop to generate current when both of them develop issue, or when the diode of each develop some issue. And if you check here, this armature has a double diode. So which means in total it has four diodes. You can see it. It has a four diode, two diodes in each uh, each section. So this section has a two diode, and this section has a two diode. So you can see this section is connected. It is connected. It is connected. Only this one is I disconnected. So which means only one pole could generate 220 volts with 20 microfarad capacitor. So I think you have verified this is the purpose of making this video experiment. So um, it can save time for you to, when your generator is having issue, you can having trouble voltage trouble issue, can identify the problem. All you have to do is to check the winding, check the main coil, check the exciter, check the lotto, physically inspect the winding to know if it has burnt out. Then check the diode if it short circuit, because most of the diode that get issue, it won't be physically uh, display. All you have to do is to get your meter, like this is my meter now, then switch it to continuous reading. So it has now been continuous reading. So which means that when you connect the two terminal out together, you can see it is short circuit. It's supposed to be just 00. Yeah, it is not supposed to be just 00. So now I have removed one terminal of this side. So now let me, if this diode ring or beep here, you know that this diode is not good. But when you explain it by physical, there is nothing you can see. So let me do it here. You can see. So it only have to read. So which means the diode is working fine. So in case your generator is not giving current, this is a solution to inspire the system without spending money for mechanic or any uh, getting another one. So this is the purpose of my channel, which I teach, and a lot of people uh, are satisfied with it. So you can see driving the system, there is a very big difference between 24-volt armature and 12-volt armature. At least you can use this one to verify that there is a very big difference between 24-volt armature and 12-volt. When this one develops some faulty, it affects the two sides. But when one of these sides develops some faulty, it only reduces the power production, because with 24 volts, with 24 UF microfarad capacitor, when the two sides is working, I got 290 volts, closely to 300 voltage. But when one side is generating, I got only 260. I think, yeah, 260 volt or thereabouts. So you can see the difference, and the ohms resistance between this coil and this one is not the same. So which means that difference, a lot of difference, and one can inspire the other. So if you like what I'm teaching, uh, feel free to drop in the comment section, follow, share, and like. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. So that's it for today. Thank you.